Hello, and Happy New Year. In this video, I am starting off the new year right by tackling more art supplies that I have just collected in pencil form this time. Now, there are a lot of different types of supplies here, and I don't think these are all my pencils. I'm sure I have more elsewhere. But yeah, this is what we're starting with today. And first thing you'll notice, I have a lot of unopened sets, like the Papermates set, a bunch of HB pencils, some woodless charcoal pencils from the reject shop. So they have never been opened. I'm putting them aside for now. I may end up giving them away as gifts. Well, not as gifts, like not presents, but just I don't need all this stuff. But even there, you could see that Montmartre set was not used. One pencil had been sharpened. I don't even know if it had really been used. And these charcoal pencils, also from Montmartre, barely used. Those ones from Typo, never used. Now these Montmartre skin tints, I did really like. I believe I got them as a gift when I was in year 8, so about 13, 14. But I really struggled to find a way to sharpen them practically. And I couldn't keep running to Dad to ask him to use a knife, because obviously, though, at 13, 14 most people are a bit more able to use that stuff. I have always been extremely klutzy and clumsy, and I would cut myself. So I want to like them more. They have really nice colors, but I just struggle to use them. Now, this Art Studio Ultimate Sketch Pencil set, I genuinely really do like. It comes with 3 watercolor pencils in dark, medium, and light. Watercolor graphite, that is. And then 3 charcoal pencils in hard, medium, and soft, and they do have a distinct difference. I've noticed with some of the pencils, particularly the earlier Montmartre set, the hard, medium, and soft, there was barely any difference, but these ones has a significant difference. And then the set has a whole bunch of graphite pencils from HB, 2B, 4B, 6B, and 8B. And yeah, they're really nice pencils. It comes with a little water brush. I think it's just a round brush. It doesn't have a size on it. And it is really nice. I prefer larger brushes. So this will be really handy when I want to do detail things. But I'm so not a detail person. I'm very slap happy with my paint. So it'll train me, hopefully. We'll see. Now I also have this Culox Natural Charcoal. I have a lot of charcoal supplies. I want to use charcoal more, but I don't. I always find it's a little messy and a bit like pastels. The texture is a bit not what I like, but they look so cool and so fun. I'm not sure where I got them from, but they seem really nice. There's another unopened pencil set. The Montmartre set, and this Creative Place set. Now that means that they are from Aldi, which means they're pretty cheap, and they have a whole range of different graphite lids, like every one that I've ever heard of they have. 8B, 7B, 6B, 5B, 4B, 3B, 2B, HB, B, F, H, and 2H. Now, I'm very much a person that usually uses HB or 2B at most. I want to get into more, so that'll be really good and handy to have. I haven't used them a lot, so I can't necessarily recommend them. But if you have some really nice graphite pencils that you know of, you can let me know what I should be using instead. Now here I have some Hunter Studio metallic pencils. These were also a gift. And it did come with a sharpener that was really good, that I think became a part of my pencil case and has since been lost, or God, it might even be one of the sharpeners that I have around. I just don't remember which one it was specifically. Now the eraser that came in it, I'm pretty sure just started crumbling away. Not from use, just I think it got a bit old and just cracked apart. Now these pencils, they're not the best, but they're not very scratchy and they could work for fun things. I think I'm going to keep them for now, but I probably will get rid of them soon, I think. I'm not sure. Now these Crayola Colors of the World pencils I have not had for very long, but I love the ranges of browns and beiges and pinks to get all those different skin tones, which I think will be super, super handy if when drawing people. But also, browns are a really, really nice color, so it'll be really good to have these. Now, Crayola pencils, I think most people have used. They're good pencils. They're not artist grade, but they're very, very decent pencils that I would happily use. And yeah, no, definitely recommend these. Obviously, being Crayola, they're going to be good. And it is fantastic to have such a large range of pencils. Now, sticking with Crayola, these are Crayola Twistables that I have had since I was 10. Now, I loved these. Most of these are fairly used, and some of them you'll come across are completely used up, as well as there was a few missing. Either they had emptied up sooner and I'd thrown them out, or they had just gone missing, like I took them out and didn't put them back. But I loved these. There we go. There's one right there. Red not working. No more lead inside. But they are more of a crayon than a pencil. And I started to think that crayon was too juvenile, so I stopped using them. But I love them again now. And I will definitely be using these. They are not artist grade. They are crayons, but they are so, so much fun. I 10 out of 10 recommend giving these to a young artist wannabe, or even just any kid. They are so fun, and I really love them. I can't wait to use them again now that I'm going through everything and have rediscovered them. But yeah, and they have such bright colors. They're so, so fantastic. Now these Jazz Art pencils are also amazing. I think I brought them at the same time as the Crayola ones because I was looking for more skin tone ranges, and the Crayola obviously covers more colors. It has many, many, many more colors, but these pencils are significantly nicer. They are so creamy and smooth, and I absolutely love them. These pencils are why I was willing to do the risk for getting the Jazz Art watercolor pencils, which is in one of my videos, because these are so lovely that I was like, I'm trusting in you. And so far, with these two purchases, Jazz Art has not let me down, I should say. So I definitely recommend them. These next pencils, though, do not buy. I don't care if they are the only pencils left in the world. They're not worth it. They're so scratchy and horrible. They are a Color Pro collection. I believe I brought them in Lincraft, which is really funny because the other Lincraft pencils I'm going to show are nowhere near as bad. But beyond being scratchy, as you can see there, that pencil is split. And it just snaps in half. That has never happened to me before with a pencil. I have seen it in other people's videos, but it has never happened to me. But I noticed later one of the other pencils also has a crack in it. So it would be that way before long. Not before. Yeah, it would go the same way soon. Now these are also Lincraft pencils. And they are the Creative Kids range. Or Creative Mates. They're the exact same, but they have two different names, so I don't know what that's about. but they're not bad pencils. I have lots of people with kids in my life. So I'm going to be giving these to them because I think these are great pencils for kids to use. The colors are really rich. They are quite smooth. They don't blend very well at all, so that is something. But I think kids are more prone to block color anyway, and they're fairly decent pencils for kids. I can't see myself using them in my art practice, not when I have so many other pencils already, and I think it's just wise to get rid of some things. But yeah, they're not bad pencils. I don't know why I have two sets. I don't remember buying either. So I have no idea. Maybe they just came with something. I don't know. But speaking of cheap pencils, these ones are significantly worse. I do not know the name of these ones. There's no brand on it. It just says superior quality, which they are not. They're very, very, very scratchy. They don't go down very well. Not very nice. Bright colors, so not even good for kids. I will not be passing these on to kids. I think that even children deserve better quality than this, but they are better than the Color Pro collection. They are not as scratchy, and none of them split in half. So they have that. A little victory for them. I don't like these pencils. Again, I don't know why I have two. I have no idea where these ones came from. They were just in the box, and I don't know. Things have just built up, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like it happens to a fair few of us. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend those pencils at all, and I'm not going to be keeping them. Now, these are the best pencils that I have in my collection, and I didn't even realize that they were not just my best pencils, but really good pencils in the art world until I was significantly older. These were a gift given to me when I was about 9 years old from my mom, and they are the Derwent Artist pencils, which is crazy to think about because that is a significantly good range of pencils. And I was using them when I was in primary school. Now, I never took these pencils to school. They were always home pencils because Mom did impress upon me that they were expensive and didn't want me to lose any, which is fine. But when I was a kid, I loved to draw, and these were amazing to work with. I loved them so much. And they are significantly used, but they still, they kept their stuff together. But as I started to get a little bit older, I just really stopped creating art, which sucks because imagine where I would be now if I had just kept creating art. But I'm super excited to have them and to get back into using them. Now these are a Kmart set, so they are the Unco Kmart brand, and they're amazing. Obviously they're not perfect pencils, but they are so creamy and smooth and fun to work with. They're not perfect. They do not layer very well at all, but they're extremely creamy. Now, I brought them, I used them a little bit, and I really liked them, and then I panicked on how do I sharpen them, because they are woodless pencils, and I wanted to try and peel the label off. It was really, really stuck, and it's seemingly wrapped around several times to give a thickness, and I couldn't peel it off, so I didn't know how to sharpen them. It was a whole panic, but I've discovered that if you aren't too concerned about the sharpener, so you're using a cheap sharpener for your cheap pencils, you can just sharpen the label. Like, comes off with the sharpener. Now, I wouldn't want to use any extremely good sharpener for that because the stickiness of it will surely leave a residue over time on the sharpener. But as is, yeah, no, they're really good. I'm really happy to have them, and I would definitely be using them in my sketchbooks and messing around and playing with them. They're super fun. Now we're on to my very small watercolor pencil array. I have obviously grown that since, but I'm only including the pencils that need to be cleaned up through this video. Now these are the Typo watercolor pencils, and I think these were a gift from a friend when I was in year 11. I forget how old that makes me. I think I was 16. No, I was 15 turning 16 in year 11. But yeah, they're nice. They are decent. They're not very great, but I think I can definitely work with them. I will play around with it a little. They're not as good as my jazz art ones, so I'm not going to do any great art with them. But if I want to do like some scribbly abstract stuff when I'm just trying to wind down and whatnot, these will be really great to work with. Yeah, no, I don't mind them at all. Which is good because these watercolor pencils, which I do believe are a Kmart set, they are abysmal. They barely have any color when you wash them out, as you can see. The pigment completely goes, and it leaves scratchy, scribbly lines from where the pencil was. And yes, this paper is not the best paper. It is not watercolor paper. It's not designed for this, but the Typo ones washed out pretty well, all things considered. These ones were like, no, not at all. So yeah, I would say getting your colored pencils, that woodless range from Kmart, that's good. These ones, not so. Don't get their watercolor range. It's much like the Montmartre brand. It's very hit or miss whether it's going to be any good, and just use logic. Watercolor is hard to get right, so they're going to struggle. But yeah, that's all the pencils I have for this video. So you can see I'm getting rid of the whole heap, and I'm keeping a whole other heap, and a bunch of them I haven't actually tested out yet that I'm keeping. And so I'm more so keeping them just in case for now. I may end up passing them on to someone else who might appreciate them more. But yeah, that's all for this video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!